came in a special election, and then I was elected to my first full term in November 2008, and I'm serving my first full term in Congress.
Congresswoman Edwards, is there a differentiation between the methods that we're practicing here in America in comparison to what's available overseas in Europe?
Well, there are. I mean, in some places they're a little bit farther ahead than we are in terms of what we're doing with green technologies and moving toward a green economy. Some countries have actually made, much greater investments, some countries in Europe. But I think we're not so far behind that we can't catch up, especially when it comes to creating that new green 21st century manufacturing sector here that will create lots of jobs in our economy. And also when it comes to using those technologies and developing new technologies so that it puts us ahead of the curve on global warming. It saves money for schools to really change the way we build them in order for them to be more energy efficient and work better in terms of our environment. And so I'm looking forward to that. And I know we have a lot of new schools that are under construction and old schools that are being retrofitted, from their energy systems to their water systems to the way that they do their landscaping around the schools in order to create a more efficient environment.
Congresswoman Edwards, how will having green schools affect students now and in the future?
What another great question. I mean, creating green schools really is about the future, and it's creating a learning environment that's really better for young people. It's making sure that our schools are more energy efficient, and then it's about how we prepare students to think about the future. And the great thing about this is students are ready for it. They're growing up green, and we just need to catch up in terms of what we're doing in our schools.
Can you define what a green job is?
A lot of people are struggling with defining what a green job is, but I think for the 21st century, every job is a green job. And so that means we might have some people who are building and installing solar panels, and others who are building and installing wind turbines, and others who are making lithium batteries that we need for our new electric vehicles. There are a lot of green jobs out there, and when I compost or I recycle, I'm creating another green job. And so there are tremendous opportunities for engineers, for scientists, for researchers, for technologists.
How can students be more involved in the green workforce and with available opportunities?
Well, the best thing that students can do is get themselves prepared for the new opportunities. And so if you're in elementary or high school, it means focusing on math and science and all of those things that will get you ready to participate in the new economy. The good thing about this new economy is that there are going to be jobs created all along the spectrum. For those of you who have high school diplomas and get some extra training, there will be jobs in this economy. If you get a little community college education or a community college degree, that will help prepare you for the economy. And of course, we need engineers. I mean, this country really needs engineers and scientists, and getting those advanced degrees through a four-year institution and even more, and we'll all then be prepared for this new economy. And there won't be jobs going anyplace else because we'll be creating them right here.
Are the buses in Prince George's County environmentally safe?
I think more of them are environmentally safe and friendly. I think one of the things that's happened is that we realize that the more buses we take off the road that are putting out all that black smoke, then the cleaner our air will be. And that's really happening in Prince George's County, across our state and across the country. We see those green buses, clean buses all over the place now, and it's really great. It's so much better than being behind a bus that has all that black smoke spewing out of it.
Which collaborations and or activities are available to prepare us to be more involved with the green workforce?
Well, I'm really excited because some of our premier agencies and institutions are right here in Prince George's County and in our state of Maryland. NASA, NOAA, looking at climate change and global warming, partnering with our school systems and with our private employers to make sure that we really are focused on how to change our practices in our homes and in our communities, but also on building those learning opportunities for young people. I've been very excited to see, for example, one of our communities in Edmonston is building green streets, to be more productive in the community in terms of how we use our water resources. We have some of our schools are really retrofitting themselves to take greater advantage of energy efficiency, and it saves them money, and of course for all of us it makes sure that we have a 21st century environment that each of us can enjoy.
How much more money did it cost to build an environmentally friendly school instead of a regular school?
Well, people actually think that it costs more money. It turns out it doesn't. The materials that we use are very efficient. The construction techniques are really efficient and cost effective. And at the end of the day, it actually ends up saving a lot of money because in addition to not creating more in terms of construction costs, the energy that you save over a period of time is so significant. And in one school or other, it might be $1 million that gets saved on money that would otherwise go to pay an electric bill because the building is now much more energy efficient.
Are schools in Prince George's County painted with low VOC paint?
You know what? I don't know the answer to that question, but I think it's a good one because if they're not, then we need to actually move more of our schools and maybe even work on some of our elected officials to make sure the schools have the resources to do exactly that.
What exactly is done in Congress?
Well, another good question. I mean, we have been working on a lot of education and legislation that's really about the new economy, about green economy, creating green jobs. And so I've had the pleasure of being able to work on a couple of green jobs bills, making sure that I'm working on a piece of legislation actually that would require our water and sewer systems to use green infrastructure techniques so that it protects our groundwater without any construction, but really just using planting techniques around our water systems. And of course, we're always interested in investing in young people's education. And so this year, we're actually going to pass another piece of legislation that will enable us to make sure that we're producing young people who get engaged in science and technology and math and become engineers and create all those new technologies for the future that each of you is going to use as we move forward.
Thank you, Congresswoman Edwards.
Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you. So nice to have you here today.
Thank you, Congresswoman Edwards.
And thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you.